Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Ripple CTO, co-creator of the XRP Ledger, David Schwartz, was interviewed, a brand new interview which took place in the latest episode of the Ripple Drop, put together by none other than Ripple. And he was interviewed along with a couple of others in this long version of the Ripple Drop. But normally these things go for a couple minutes. I've seen extended versions. This one goes on for like 7.5 minutes or something like that. Really interesting stuff here. And so Ripple ended up writing about it in their blog series called Insights, the Ripple Insights here. And so I wanted to run through this and share some of the insight that David Schwartz shared with us in this via this interview today. But before we go any further here, if you would please delicately tap that like button. And if you're also a fan of just listening to every ounce of knowledge that you can from David Schwartz, because that's what I'm like, go ahead and subscribe to the Moon Lambo channel. It's a good timer. We're just partying here a day. Now, this episode of the Ripple Drop dives into how changes are made to the XRP Ledger, a digital asset wallet app called BRD, and the foundation of Liquidity. Ripple CTO David Schwartz provides a look at how improvements are made to the XRP Ledger. Then Ripple VP and head of global institutional markets Brianne Madigan explains the key attributes to a healthy liquid market, while BRD co-founder and president Aaron Voisine explains how and why his company is part of that effort. And indeed, and I found all of this interesting. Not just, of course, I admit I'm kind of most excited about what Schwartz had to say, because he's just, quite literally a genius and just knows more than all of us combined ever will about crypto and how the XRP Ledger works. But I tell you what, listening to what Brianne Madigan had to say was rather insightful as well. And, of course, it's key to have a sufficiently liquid market because, indeed, when we're talking about XRP as a bridge currency, we are talking about on-demand liquidity, so kind of important. And Ripple's doing their best to actually build out a healthy XRP ecosystem while ensuring, to whatever degree they can, that there is sufficient liquidity to make this happen. And that's a huge challenge when you're opening up new corridors and on-demand liquidity. Now, Schwartz admitted he's often in awe of how quickly and dramatically the XRP Ledger has changed since its founding in 2011, growing to more than 1,000 nodes that move billions of dollars to people around the world. Can you imagine having created XRP and then it's being used to this capacity less than a decade later? Freaking amazing. It's got to be like really trippy to be David Schwartz. He's done something that is just shockingly incredible here, and it's literally changing the way that that money is moving around the world. Then the piece continues. But the defining feature of a decentralized operation without any administrative functions or permission for a multi-billion-dollar digital asset is precisely why the pace of change has slowed. Reliability is top priority, and the community ensures this by taking a measured approach to any proposed changes. As part of this episode, Schwartz highlights how the community is empowered to push back on possible changes and unpacks a unique safety feature that prevents the system from ever agreeing that 2 + 2 = 5. He also teases a few changes that the community is considering, including speeding up confirmation times and increasing throughput. Additionally, he's interested in Ripple's potential take on stablecoins, which would peg assets on the ledger to an external value here. And he went on to talk about how as they began creating the XRP ledger, he was under the assumption that any sort of new feature that was on the XRP ledger would be quickly copied by the Bitcoin blockchain and potentially make the XRP ledger obsolete. And they learned in hindsight, there's always wisdom once you have hindsight there, that that's not remotely how things unfolded. In reality, once you have a system in place and there are those that like the way things are going along, frankly, it's actually can be hard to implement change. And so a lot of those things never came. And then he also talked about how the XRP Ledger has a built-in decentralized exchange, and he kind of talk about the beginnings of that. Very interesting stuff there. And then they have the subheading here, Liquidity Basics and Today's Use Cases. Infrastructure that is reliable and trustworthy is critical to supporting new use cases for digital assets. One such company working on creating a tangible value for digital assets is BRD. BRD is a multi-currency crypto app that aims to make trading digital assets as simple, safe, and convenient as possible in 170 countries. Voicing highlights increased utility and demand for XRP as reasons why BRD added XRP support. And he went on to cite in this Ripple Drop episode that he's simply listening to the market, what the market has to say, because there's real utility and real adoption taking place here, which is funny considering the video that I put out yesterday with Anthony Pompliano, a co-founder of Morgan Creek Digital, who I respect the guy, I do. I think he's just being genuine, and I think he's just wrong. But he cited that there's no utility in XRP, and here he is, and I cited this yesterday, and this is why I had to bring this up. I cited in that video yesterday that this is Anthony Pompliano just completely disregarding what the market is requesting, and then today, in this Ripple Drop episode, you've got this guy from BRD saying, the market wants this. So, there you go. I'm just saying, man. Call it like I see it. And here's a quote now. We're seeing businesses adopting digital assets and growing utility all the time. XRP has proven itself to be something that's extremely valuable and something that the market wants. And that's a quote from Voicing with BRD there. Exactly what I've been freaking saying here. Can I just pat myself on the shoulder for that? Now, additionally, Madigan explains the key aspects to liquidity and how liquidity fits into RippleNet's on-demand liquidity service that enables faster, less expensive cross-border payments. Madigan discusses how on-demand liquidity is an important illustration of how Ripple, as an enterprise company, builds solutions for B2B customers, yet has the potential to deliver value for everyday consumers. All of it made possible on a ledger that the community helps ensure is up to the task. Cool stuff here. Next piece now. Oh, by the way, I don't think I gave the proper shout out. I wanted to thank XRP Crypto Wolf for sending this Ripple Drop information directly to my Twitter inbox, and he also did for this next piece that I'm going to cover with you. And this is from the blockcrypto.com, and it's titled House Committee to Explore Benefits of Blockchain for Small Businesses Next Week. The U.S. House of Representatives Committee on Small Business will hold a hearing on blockchain's impact on small businesses next week. I'll tell you what, I'll give you a little hint here. No matter what the size of your business, if you're a middleman, just make sure that you're evaluating what the implications will be as this fundamental shift in the way money moves around the world comes to be. We're talking about the Internet of Value here. Now, the hearing, Building Blocks of Change, the Benefits of Blockchain Technology for Small Businesses, will be held at 11:30 a.m. on March 4th, according to the committee's website. The hearing will explore how innovators and entrepreneurs are using blockchain technology to help small businesses boost productivity, increase security, open new markets, and change the way business is done. The witnesses set to appear are Shane Bigelow, CEO of Onum, Marvin Emory, General Counsel for Protocol Labs, Jim Harper, Visiting Fellow for the American Enterprise Institute, and Dawn Dixon, CEO of Popcom. When reached for comment, committee chairwoman, whose name I cannot pronounce and will not attempt, told the bloc that it is vital that Congress keep pace with the evolving needs of our country's innovative small businesses. Entrepreneurs across the nation have already begun to utilize blockchain to enhance their security, spread their products to new markets, and run their daily operations, as she said in a statement. Congress must have a clear understanding of how blockchain is utilized and how it can help small businesses moving forward. And so, as I was mentioning in my very last video, hopefully we have some regulatory clarity around all of this sooner than later. Because it's a scary prospect to start a business having anything to do with a cryptocurrency, not necessarily blockchain if there's no coin attached, but specifically with cryptocurrency if you really don't know if you might go to jail or be fined for it. Just saying. All right, next, here is a tweet from Ripple just a little bit earlier today. And they had a little infographic that presumably somebody from their team made here. And I'm going to read the infographic here first. Ripple and Azimo. And this relates to news that came out yesterday, which I did report on. Ripple's on-demand liquidity solution has significantly reduced the cost and delivery time for cross-border transfers, and our customers are seeing the benefits. That's a quote from Richard Ambrose, CEO of Azimo. And that is the latest new customer of Ripple's to utilize on-demand liquidity, which does mean they're using XRP as a bridge currency. That's the latest customer to announce that they are on board with that. So look, and I think you're gonna see a lot more. I know we're almost in March here, but I think as more time passes, even in 2020, I suspect that you are going to see a whole lot more businesses announce that they are utilizing on-demand liquidity. You're going to see even more corridors open up, and that will create even more opportunity for businesses that operate in those corridors to jump on board RippleNet and utilize on-demand liquidity and XRP as a bridge currency. You're going to see increased liquidity, I do believe, and you know what that means. In order for there to be that liquidity, somebody has to be holding XRP for it to to be used as a bridge, and that affects supply and demand. So anyway, cool stuff, but that's it for this video, and thank you for stopping by, my friends. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!